Okay, this is a tour of ApoKrino Forge. You can see I have it installed here. It's at the bottom right-hand corner. I'll show you that in a second. First, I want to show you, here is ApoKrino.com. On the iOS, you can just simply push the share button and it says add to home screen. Now, of course, I've already done that, so I'm not going to do that now. In the laptop version, once you get on the web app, you can download it onto your laptop, Windows, or in OS X. I'll be honest, I haven't tested the Windows one for a while. Apple works great. Android works great, better on a tablet than on a phone. Phone's kind of small for serious drawing. There are features. I'll show you in another video for using your phone. Once you get onto the app, now, let me show you how to get on there. So here we are at the bottom right-hand corner. I'm going to hit ApoKrino Forge. I'm going to open it. So here is the creative cycle. This, you go around and around and you create your ideas. This takes you from just observational sketches and ideas all the way through to finished works. So let's dive in. 1, the sketchbook app. This is the daily sketchbook. It opens up into whatever you're working on. This is some work that I was doing to get into some Substack article illustrations and just some basic stuff I was working on. That's some of my recent work. You can see there's lots of different sketchbooks. Here is a book about Cezanne and reclaiming your creativity. You can do real work in this app suite. When you push the ApoKrino logo again, it's the same one that was on your thumbnail on the desktop. You push that again, and it switches into a mode kind of like Photoshop or Procreate. You have layer editors. You can add a new layer, and let's see, that's the transform function. And put that layer on top. You can select, I've got a bunch of different brushes. Let's just pick this is sort of my favorite right now, the ink brush. And let's pick color, size, opacity, good. All right, and I'm making sure I'm drawing on the right layer. And of course it doesn't work now. It worked perfectly well when I wasn't running a video. Sometimes running the video makes it run really slow. Not sure what the damage is, doesn't matter, I'll move on. So you can go from the library, but then when you've got images that you find in your sketchbooks and you want to develop them, you can move on to the meme card system. And this system allows you to capture images that you're going to work on later. You can import them and re-import them into the sketchbook again. You can edit the images. You can, I'm not going to save that, but you can analyze the images and, create them, crop them, remove the background, all sorts of fun things that you can do in any kind of Procreate or Photoshop. But this allows you to isolate the images, and then you can take them into the meme lab where you take those individual images, set them up as a storyboard, set them up as collaged canvas, even a fishbone if you're doing a project and you want to do project management for yourself. And then you can import them into the mind map editor where you can see all of your ideas connected. This is really useful if you're trying to invent something, study something, master something, develop new ideas for innovation projects. You're running a new pilot program in your school. Super useful for these things. And then that information takes you back into the sketchbook. But this is not something I didn't leave you without any tools. I have here, if it decides it wants to cooperate, in the center, we have the journal. And this is where the AI integration takes place. Literally, you can submit works of art to have actual images get analyzed. You can pick something and it will tell you about not whether it's good or bad, not a critique like you see in the hostile art critiques in the movies, but it will help you figure out what is your creative intention. The silent eye makes observations, tells you what elements of art you're using, and it tells you what techniques you're doing, and it makes you aware of what you're trying to work on. And so as you work, you can turn this off. This is an entirely human first system. But the idea is that it guides you, but it also teaches you. It makes you aware of your own work. And there are bugs right now. It's definitely in beta. But I'm hammering these things out on a daily basis, and the function is improving. Your data will not get lost. I've got functions built in so you can load from the cloud. You will not lose your work. That's one of the major issues that I would have with an app suite. So you basically are free to try out the current version and begin working immediately. And I really hope you do. I would love the feedback. But the whole point of creating this was that the tools didn't exist, and I wanted those tools. I want to be able to create my own work on Instagram. I want to be able to use AI, but only as AI helps, not to do the work for me, but to help me do better work. So that's the idea. Here's the Creative Suite. Thank you so much for listening. If you're still here, thanks for sticking around. Like and subscribe and all that stuff.